If you ever go to the memorial page of someone who was murdered in front of their children and you make fun of them or you say something nasty, you are never going to have anything break your way. Every time that you think you're right there, you can almost taste the thing that you've been chasing forever. It's going to fall apart. You are putting poison into the atmosphere all the time. The universe is always keeping score, dude. That's how that works. If you think that that's not how it works, then you are not evaluating things correctly. If you're a toxic piece of shit, that is exactly what you will live in. Fucking filth. That's what you are, and that is what your life is going to be. So suck on it. I don't need to say anything else. You're going to live misery for the rest of your life, and that's exactly what you deserve. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. So we got a bombshell congressional report about the Trump assassination attempt, and this came out a couple days ago, but as I read into this, there's a lot of information that I have not heard everybody talking about yet, which seems extraordinarily relevant to me as it relates to the official story of what happened here and why this keeps happening. How at this point, almost 2 months later, is there new information coming out about what was something that happened in front of the entire world? Okay. You had someone shoot the, former president, who's the leading candidate in the world. And there were how many thousands of people there? How many people saw it? How on earth are we still getting details about exactly what happened during this incident? The FBI, they're all, we looked into every single angle. We investigated every single thing. If they are truly doing that and then releasing the relevant information, there is no reason why a separate independent congressional investigation should be turning up absolutely critical key components to this incident that were not released by the FBI. And if that's the case, especially when you see how obvious this evidence was of what's revealed here, which is that the Secret Service did not shoot the shooter first, and he was only shot by the Secret Service once his ability to continue to fire on the president was incapacitated. Let me tell you about the most exciting sponsor that I have for you, because it's football season, and that is PrizePicks, son. What are you doing at PrizePicks, Jesse on Fire? Promoting the best daily fantasy company in the world right before we're about to start NFL season, son. Now, I imagine that you're curious why you would choose to play PrizePicks. It's because it's the simplest, easiest game that you could possibly play. And I'm going to show you exactly how you play right now. It's so sick. I used to own a daily fantasy company, and if I would have thought of this game structure, I would be a lot wealthier than I am now, because this is so fun, dude. Now, watch how you play, okay? You have a list of players that you can choose from, and it's over-unders. It's as simple as that. It's a daily fantasy game, but you're predicting statistics over-under, like, as an example, the lock bet of the weekend, Devin Achane, the Miami Dolphins running back. Jesse, how do you know that that's the lock bet of the century? Well, because Mike McDaniel told me last year that he's the best running back that he's ever worked with ever. And he's over-under is 53.5 yards on opening weekend. So let's just go over here, and we're going to go ahead and pick more. See, now he's over here. And then Trevor Lawrence, rushing yards, 16.5. He's good for that, right? So you can pick anywhere between 2 and 6 people on your roster, and the payout is going to be equivalent to how many people that you pick. Now, PrizePicks also does weekly offers where they'll discount players on Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, up to 25% to give you additional value. So withdrawals are easy. You can get your money in and out super easy. So check it out. This is after the Thursday night game. If you use the link in the description, and then you can use the promo code JesseOnFire to get a free $50 bonus. And look at this. You want to see what that looks like? Hold up. Bam, son. You see that? I did my first $20 lineup. I got $50 free put into my account. And you only actually have to put $5 in play. But let's be honest, dude. You guys have money. So again, go to the link in the description and then use promo code JesseOnFire, and you will unlock a $50 bonus as well. And there's a bullet hole in his gun. Okay, like there's no question that the FBI knew that had happened. So why would they have not put that information out? You had to figure it was going to get out eventually anyway. But there's a lot more to the story, and we're going to talk about that as we get into it. But first, I want to just show you this, okay? So this right here is Corey Comparator, the gentleman who was shot and killed at the rally. So this is his Twitter, all right? Now, I don't know why, or his ex, I'm sorry. I don't know why I hadn't looked this up previously, But as I was looking at this story, he was brought up in one of the articles. And I remembered that when I was talking to Dude the other day about why we should empathize with this family, And he said something about what the guy had put up on X as if like, oh, okay, that matters. This dude, tried to save his family, got his face blown up. But when we're evaluating whether or not we should feel bad about that, we definitely got to go check his X account. Let's definitely go see what he posted on his X account because that's relevant, said no one who has even a shred of sanity. But because I was reminded of that, I went and looked, and I want to show this to you guys because I think it's important. This guy got killed at this thing. You know what I mean? This dude got killed at this rally. All right. Now, I can't help myself. I can't help myself. I might edit this out afterwards, but I'm just going to put this in here for now, and let's just see how I feel about it later. But so you guys remember this gentleman, right? So his post is, how many good guys with a gun were there at the Trump rally assassination attempt again? ? And this is in response to, Trump talking about good guys with guns or whatever. I'm like, okay, so normally this is not that big of a deal, except that he has a gun prominently and intentionally displayed in his backdrop every second that he's on camera. You think it's not on purpose? It's like, oh, okay, here's my camera. Well, I have wall space for one thing. What should I put there? It's like, I'll put a firearm there. It's like, okay, like, believe me, I have no issue with that at all. I just bought a new gun myself yesterday, dude. An ultra carry Kimber with a crimson trace. So, I like 1911s now, man. I was never a 1911 guy, but Gabrielle got me a Springfield Emissary for Christmas, and I cannot miss with that thing. 45, you would think it'd be harder to hit targets, and I don't know, man. With the Emissary, I shoot more accurate with that thing than I do any of my. I have a multitude of 9mm. But yeah, so I just got a Kimber Ultra Carry. Anyway, my point though is that if you're gonna go and you're gonna make a part of your brand that you are whatever your politics are, you're very prominent. You're a Second Amendment person, clearly. So like, what are we doing, dude? You know what I mean? Like, this was my entire point. The only reason I was even having the conversation. I'm saying Trump breaks people's brains. You are clearly contradicting your own belief system and not recognizing that. Now, I will say he did make a good point yesterday, though. He said something about how Elon Musk was literally doing exactly what we had accused the other social media platforms of doing, which was like favoring, one political party. And I thought about that. I'm like, that is a fair point. It's a fair point. I would say I know why, we have been not super consistent on our feelings towards that. Is just that, like, all right, well, if you're getting your neck stepped on for the entire time that this is an issue, and then you finally get one platform that has your back, one of the major platforms, you don't really notice and be like, oh, wow, now we're being hypocrites. It's more like, okay, now we're finally on an even playing field, But anyway, it's neither here nor there. That it is certainly inconsistent. But nonetheless, I love Elon. And but let's look at this guy. All right, so this dude got killed, okay? Killed at the Trump rally. And I saw this right here, and I was like, oh my God, this is awful, dude. Hang on, check this out. So what's everybody doing this weekend? Trump rally, Butler, Pennsylvania. Look at that, dude. That's the day he got killed, dude. It's the day he got killed. What's everybody doing this weekend? Trump rally, Butler, Pennsylvania. Like, exclamation point. He's so excited, dude. I don't know, man. I'm like, damn, dude. And then now everybody's commenting, you weren't a hero. Wow. What a class act this is. Dad, how do I know if I'm a good person when I'm older? Well, if you go on a person who was recently killed in front of his children's X account to let the public know that you don't think he's a hero, then that means you're a really good person. Like, that's you are the virtuous one. You're definitely not a brainwashed psychopath who has no experience with violence and has exposed yourself. These people are disgusting, dude. Disgusting. And I find myself looking for more assholes doing it. Look at this, LOL loser. Like this is why X is a bad place in general, because like look at all these people who are being super respectful and they want to send their thoughts and prayers, and yet I mean I don't spend very much time on X intentionally, and what I'm actually looking for right now, regardless of the fact that I'm on a on a video, is I'm looking for other assholes who would actually have the audacity to say something negative to this guy. Well, I found this and I just actually couldn't help myself. So the guy, this one goes, hey, how'd that go? That was on July 14th, the day after he got killed. And then this stupid bitch, the day after that wrote, it was a bang up time, I hear. So I just responded just now, 15 years from now, life is going to hit you in the face. You haven't accomplished anything you'd hoped to. Your life amounted to nothing, and you don't think it's fair. You should come back to this interaction and remember I told you, nothing good ever happens for people like you. That's a fact. That is a hard and true fact. Okay? If you ever go to the memorial page of someone who was murdered in front of their children and you make fun of them or you say something nasty, you are never going to have anything break your way. Every time that you think you're right there, you can almost taste the thing that you've been chasing forever. It's going to fall apart. You will never get to grab the thing that you're chasing because life does not work like that. You are putting poison into the atmosphere all the time. And the universe is always keeping score, dude. That's how that works. If you think that that's not how it works, then you are not evaluating things correctly. Oh, well, look at that guy. He's a piece of shit and he got rich. Yeah, look under the hood at his life. I bet his life is super awesome. Okay? If you're a toxic piece of shit, that is exactly what you will live in. Fucking filth. That's what you are, and that is what your life is going to be. So suck on it. I don't need to say anything else. You're going to live misery for the rest of your life, and that's exactly what you fucking deserve. All right, so let's move on to the actual story here. So the bombshell congressional report on Trump assassination attempt reveals who really took the first shot at Thomas Crooks. So a bombshell congressional report claims would-be Trump assassin Thomas Crooks was incapacitated by a local cop before he was killed by a Secret Service sniper. So why is this relevant? For a couple of reasons. Number one, why did the FBI fail to tell everybody that? Because they had to know. How come we're finding out about this 2 months later? Okay. Remember, there was a whole thing where the director of the FBI came in front of the congressional hearing and ultimately got fired. She probably got put in that position as a patsy. But that didn't seem relevant. Remember, she's like, you're going to have to ask the FBI. They know everything. They know all the shells. They know everything. Okay, there's a bullet hole in the guy's rifle. Anyway, 2 months after Crooks shot the former president's ear in Butler, Pennsylvania, preliminary report from Representative Clay Higgins offered a differing narrative to the official one pushed by the FBI. Oh, the FBI lied again. Shocker. While it was initially claimed that Crooks was shot in the head within seconds by a Secret Service sniper, Higgins' report claimed it was actually a local SWAT operator who stopped the gunman's hail of bullets. The congressman said a local cop's shot hit Crooks' rifle and fragged his face, neck, and right shoulder area from the gun stock breaking up, which meant Crooks was unable to keep firing before he was killed. Does that seem relevant, guys? Does that seem relevant? That not only did people potentially look right at him since he was at the most obvious place you could possibly post up as a shooter, and they didn't take him down then, but they actually didn't take him down until he had been injured and his firearm disabled. So they're like, oh, well, I guess we took our shot. Now we got to clean this mess up. It comes amid, and again, I cannot stress this enough. This was the very first ever rally where Trump was given counter snipers. They were never at any other rallies. That is like the most damning circumstantial evidence. I don't even know what to even do with that. It's one of those things where these people on the other side would be like, what does that prove? And I'd be like, prove? Did I say it proves something? What I said is it is insane. It's so suspicious that if it doesn't make you suspicious, then you're not objective. Like, that is so the guy's done 5 billion rallies. And then the very first time, like CNN's all, we're going to go ahead and live stream this one. You're all, why? They're all, we just feel like this is the time to give Trump some airtime. And then it's like, oh, and we also just by pure happenstance decided that he needs to have the worst Secret Service, crew in the world, but we are going to give him counter snipers. So he's been asking you for additional, resources forever. You said no, 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 no. Now the resources that you provide to him are terrible people around him to be able to try to protect him, but you're going to give him counter snipers. That's kind of weird. And then, oh my God, some guy took a shot at him. And luckily, we were there to kill him afterwards, so he couldn't talk. Okay, so it comes amid mounting scrutiny that the FBI and Secret Service's investigations into the shooting weeks after Higgins also revealed Crooks' body was mysteriously cremated with approval from the FBI after just 10 days. The cremated thing, I don't actually think is that big of a deal, only because, dude, 10 days, you can do your investigation. You know what I mean? What on the body? What else do you need to know? Right? It's just more stuff that looks shady, though, But here's the picture of his gun apparently got hit with a bullet and it fragged his face. And it sounds like he was incapacitated, couldn't shoot anymore, according to the article and the investigation. So the revelations from Higgins' bombshell report were raised last night by Fox News pundit Jesse Waters, who shared his shock over the response to the assassination attempt with Missouri Senator Josh Hawley. Waters said the FBI and Secret Service have been offering only a frustrating drip, drip, drip of information from their investigations, noted that the real investigation work is done by Congress. That's what it appears to be, because the FBI clearly knew. Okay, there's no way that, how would a congressional, committee come up with these findings when the FBI is the one that had access to all of this information? You're telling me they couldn't have put together the same conclusion, and they're not disputing it now. So yeah, it says he drew parallels between the agency's official narrative and the shooting that Crooks was quickly killed by a Secret Service sniper, and Higgins claimed that a local SWAT operator actually hit the gunman first. I didn't know that, Waters said, pointing to congressional testimony from acting, because they lied. Yeah. He gave his agency total credit for bringing down Crooks. Oh my God, this is just ridiculous, dude. According to Higgins' report, a rally could have been were it not been for the actions of local officers. Well, yeah, I would say so if they shot him first and then all of a sudden the guy couldn't shoot anymore, After Crooks fired 8 bullets at the crowd, striking Trump's ear and hitting 3 rally attendees, 1 fatally, officers were scrambling to locate the source of the bullets and fire back. Higgins said a SWAT operator, who he described as a total badass in his report, fired at Crooks from the ground around 100 yards from the AGR building where he had been perched. When he had cited the shooter, Crooks, as a mostly obscured by foliage moving target on the AGR rooftop, he immediately left his assigned post and ran towards the threat. Attaboy, dude. That is what you call taking a proactive set of steps. It's like, guy with rifle on the roof, 150 yards from the speaker who is the leading candidate in the upcoming election, right? Congressman noted that the officer ran into Crooks' possible line of fire and took a very hard shot that struck the end of Crooks' rifle and destroyed the gun's functionality. This means that if his AR buffer tube was damaged, Crooks' rifle wouldn't fire after the 8th shot. Seconds later, a Secret Service sniper killed Crooks on the rooftop perch, which entered somewhere around the left mouth area and exited the right ear. Left mouth, so boom, boom. That is a curtain call right there. The revelations came as Higgins also staggeringly claimed that Crooks' body was cremated just 10 days after the rally shooting, despite investigations still ongoing. Yeah, but what else are you going to find out from the body? I really don't understand that. I'm genuinely asking. I don't understand. You guys tell me in the comments. They compiled a report. The Louisiana congressman and the former police captain compiled the report from his own boots on the ground trip to Butler in early August, which was submitted to a 13-member congressional bipartisan task force investigating the shooting that he's a member of. In the report, Higgins said that when he visited the town for his own investigation, his request to view the body caused quite a stir and revealed a disturbing fact. Oh, okay. So he's like, the body's gone. Higgins said nobody knew that the body had been returned to the family, including the county coroner and local enforcement. He writes that the coroner still had legal authority over the body, when the FBI made this decision and accuses the agency of obstruction. The problem with me not being able to examine the actual body is I won't know 100% of the coroner's report and the autopsy report are accurate. Oh, we will actually never know. Okay, that makes sense. We'll get the reports and pictures, but I will never be able to say with certainty that the reports and pictures were accurate. I mean, bottom line, the guy got killed by a bullet after taking shots. Again, I'm not 100%, convinced that that's a super big deal, but I don't know, dude. This whole thing is just like, I mean, you know what I mean? If the actual goal of all of this stuff is just to erode confidence in the United States government and its institutions, good job, good job. I mean, I've been pretty clear with everybody, like that my political positions have changed astronomically in the last however long, Like I remember specifically when the last time I remember being firmly on the other side, like on an issue that I have now subsequently looked back on and been like, man, like the fact that I saw this that way at the time is wild, dude. Which is why I don't like, I have, people who see these things opposing to me, I don't have any issue with them. If they think like, oh, Trump's or whatever, I don't have any issue with them personally. You go on to a dead guy's page and start, saying nasty things. Now we're in a completely different category. Now I'll shit down your fucking throat. But but just people who disagree, I understand. But the last time I remember having directly opposing views was when Trump did that summit with him and Putin during his presidency. And, they did those side-by-side podiums or whatever. And there was the one where Putin gave him the soccer ball from the, from the World Cup. And then they put out that story that supposedly had a listening device in it. I don't know if that's true or not. But Trump got into it with the intelligence agencies during that stop. And I remember at the time being like, I can't believe he did that. Like he publicly talked negative, he talked negatively about the CIA and the FBI during, like in this incident, like he's weakening the institutions of the United States. And, I mean, there's certainly a conversation there, but that at the time I thought the idea that the CIA could be acting nefariously to like undermine our president was like unfathomable to me. It's like, there's no way that's true. And now it's like, yeah, I think there's plenty of reason to be suspicious of that exact thing. And the FBI equally or more so, Anyway, whatever. This thing's depressing. That's all I got.